Powered by Riverside.
It's the Dynasty Front Office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time.
All right, guys. This segment's called Rise from the Grave. We're going to talk about some players that might have been pronounced dead a little bit. Maybe not dead, but like, pulse fading, right? And so far in the season, they've burst through the coffin, started scoring again. We'll just call them like fantasy zombies or something. Anyways, guys who have sucked and now they're better.
So perfect.
So, Austin, who you got?
I have Javonte Williams. As y'all all know, I was ridiculously high on him coming out of college. I mean, insanely high. And then his knee got destroyed, and I didn't think he'd ever come back to life. But apparently, going back to Frankenstein, he got something done properly, and he's now back to balling. Except for when he faced that top Carolina run defense. But still, he's a top 5 RB on the season, and you laugh, but they've been really freaking good since week 1.
I was just like, you and Jesse, 2 peas in a pod this episode. Trying to find ways to throw the propaganda in there.
Okay, Mr. Jaxson Dart, like 5 times this episode. I don't want to hear nothing.
Hey,
I'm not sure who was more, Chad or Dable.
I also begrudged. I also begrudged Theo Johnson, and I'm sure the Giants just suck. So yeah, we have one good thing. Okay,
I made a late change to the show sheet, and I have Jaxson Dart coming up a little later.
Okay. But yeah, man, he's top 5 on the season, has really no real competition. Jaden Blue looks exactly like he did in college. So, no issues with there. So as long as he's healthy, man, he's going to be a smash start every week. My question is where's he at in Dynasty? I know he needs the contract, but let's assume he gets a 2-year extension, let's say 12 to 15 million. How high does he jump for y'all? Does he get close to that RB12?
I was off the top of my head, I was going to say like 15.
Okay.
Can he be worth more than a late first? Like ever again?
No. I mean, I wouldn't say never again. He's 25. He's 25.
Could he be any more than a first?
No, but he's 25 years old, right? So like, let's say that he continues this. And what is he, like RB 6, 7 right now?
He's 5 right now.
5. Okay, so let's say he carries this forward to the end of the season and he ends up what I thought he was, like 7, 8 range, right? I would say you have to give up more than a late first for him if he gets a contract extension at that point. Like it's got to be a first plus a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
Because at that point, it just doesn't make sense to move him for less than that, right?
Wasn't he an older prospect? So isn't he like
he was young. No, he was young. Yeah, he was 21 coming out of college. He was a true junior.
Okay, so 25. That's not. Yeah,
and
he's younger than Jonathan
recently
Taylor.
25. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I mean, it's an interesting discussion. As somebody who is literally left for dead to get that now, he's worth the first at least right now.
If you can get him for a late first, you have to do it.
Yeah, if you're a contender, that's a smash. If you can send just the first, which as a rebuilder really isn't a bad thing to think about either. Like, if you still got them and nobody's coming giving the price you want, if somebody's offering a first, especially if it's not just a dominant team, kind of like Chad was bringing up with the trade banger, getting that guy's first where you feel like it's a for sure 11 or 12, that doesn't feel as good. But if you've got somebody that's like, 8-4, or even 9-3 right now, giving them Javonte for their first is a pretty good move, in my opinion, on a rebuild.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
All right. So, Jesse, who you got?
Dallas Goedert. So we kind of already talked about Goedert.
What?
But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See, at least I didn't do that.
I thought he was always dominant. I don't rise him from the grave.
Yeah, I thought he was PPG, points per game god or something like that.
He is, but he's been healthy this year, so he's only missed one game. So that's why he's been so productive.
I couldn't remember what he called him. I had a blank.
PP.
PPG for life.
Yeah.
PPG
Yes.
Lord.
He is.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Master. I have to call him the PPG Master. That's what it was.
Okay.
All right.
This is a kid show, Jesse.
Okay, what do you have to say about Goedert?
That you haven't already said, because we
Nothing. He's on here for a second time just because I didn't realize it was going to be so easy to get you guys to admit it the first time. So I'm good. We can move on to Mike.
He's
He's worth a second?
He's the only good receiver.
No, you guys said he was worth more than a
Eagles.
second. So that's it. That's all I care about. So, Michael.
All right. Going to mine. So we already talked about him too a little bit, but Deebo. Deebo.
Sorry. Audience, please rewind
I
10
am
minutes
losing
and
it.
13 seconds and listen to our Deebo conversation.
But all right, so now you have Deebo in here, but like 7 minutes ago you dogged him.
Well, did I dog him that much?
I mean, he's the only one that picked him of the
I
three.
was
like,
I
okay.
said.
Wasn't I the only one
Okay.
that picked him? Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
There you go. Yay.
Deebo does seem like a Mike type player. You know, older guy that produces.
Yeah. He's a wide receiver 8 on the season right now. He's had 3 wide receiver 1 finishes so far. So now what that looks like with Terry McLaurin back, who knows? But I don't know. He could be revitalized in a new place and new system.
If you can get him for a first, man. I mean,
Deebo?
second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Huh?
My brain rewound to the last conversation.
Goedert?
No, seriously, if you can get
You get Goddard and Deebo for a first, man.
if you can get Deebo for a second, I think that's a really good way to spend your second.
Yeah, it could be really good for you for a
I don't know if you can. I mean, when you're talking wide receiver 8 right now, like
I've been sending them out for 2 seconds all year, and everybody turns me down and sends back the equivalent of a second, and I just don't want that.
That's how much you like Deebo.
I think
I just think he's
some
worth
people
more
are
than
just
that.
waiting for McLaurin to come back and seeing what that looks like.
I think
Which makes
could
sense,
change the
right?
offense a lot,
Because
which
he's
it could
about
change
to
for the
come
better.
back,
Yeah.
Yeah, it could.
Well, and like we said earlier, this was before we started recording, but I thought we really should have had this in the conversation. It's tough. The trade market is tough right now. And like, it seems like if the other owner doesn't feel like they're clearly winning the trade, they're just not going to make the trade. People aren't interested in making even fair trades right now. That's just my feel. But it seems like a couple of you guys agreed with me anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It's a tough time of the season in general. Everybody's still trying to figure their teams out. You know, if you're not 0-12 right now or close to it, or 12-0 or close to it, you don't really know what your team is because of all the injuries, all the buys. You know, I mean, I have some teams that were loaded, and now I'm looking at my IR, and it looks like the first 3 or 4 rounds of a startup. You know, so
all
that
my
changes
IRs
a
are
lot.
full.
Yeah, so like it makes it really hard to decide, you know, do I want to pay a second for Keenan Allen or Deebo or Goddard, or do I just want to, you know, push off for the rest of the season and go to next year kind of thing. So I think that's part of it. But yeah, I mean, people have been really stickler on these guys that are performing, especially guys like Deebo who were nothing before the season. You know, you would have struggled to get him more than a throw in and a trade. And now, you know, no offense to Jesse, but people are wanting 2 seconds for him. You know, that's a huge value jump to something that could easily in 3 weeks, we're like, man, why the heck did you do that? Because now McLaurin's back. You know, they're leaning on JCM, and Deebo's getting 4 targets a game.
Not to mention, like, we're coming out of an offseason where a lot of these second round picks, even some of the later second round picks, are really performing and worth a hell of a lot more than they were this offseason. So people are like, okay, well, why am I going to give that up when I don't know what this looks like? It's not guaranteed production for the rest of the year. Which, I mean, it doesn't really make sense in some ways, makes sense in other ways. So it's just one of those things. I think people will convince themselves what they have at the current moment is better than what they would be getting. And
honestly, a lot of on some of my contenders, when I think about going out and trading for a piece, I think about it being week 7 and this guy's going to get hurt, and I'm not gonna have that ammo to go trade for a different player.
Yeah. If I'm trading for a player now and it's like a production based trade, then it's got to be a guy where I assume he's going to give me production going forward into the next season or two,
right?
At the very least. That's just me up until the playoff comes around.
I made a really risky trade. I made a really risky trade yesterday. I talked to Chad about it and ended up pulling the trigger, but I traded Scatabo in my first for JT. And my first better be bottom 3. But it feels like, me and Chad mentioned that, this is one of those trades that you're either going to love in a year because Scatabo doesn't turn out, or there's a good opportunity that Scatabo and the first are the better asset in a year. So week 7, it scared me making this trade, but the guy's having a fire sale and I didn't want somebody else to get JT. So I ended up pulling the trigger.
That is the other side of that if you wait too long, that those elite players aren't even there to trade for.
I packaged them now with Bijan and CMC, so my running back room's crazy.
Yeah. And we got to keep in mind too, like with a trade like that, you're paying for the best player in the NFL right now at the moment, arguably, right? Like Jonathan Taylor's been ridiculous this season. So there's always going to be a little bit of a premium on that.
And you're capitalizing on a player with a lot of heat, which is always a smart thing to do in a trade.
Yep.
But it could turn out that heat is justified. You just don't know yet.
Yeah.
When it's a young player, it's very volatile.
Yeah. Well, the thing too is like with the justification too, like two things can be true, as Austin likes to say. Cam Scatabo can be a good player, and this trade still looks good a year from now.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
So
really, he has to be a top 15 RB for it to not look bad for the other guy.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go the other way with that. But for like Austin to feel bad about it, I think he's got to be like a top 10 running back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was saying for the other guy, for him.
Yeah, I think you're spot on.
For him to get the value out of it, he has to be at least top 15, because that first is, going to be a late first, especially with JT now.
Well, no, in Austin, it'll be late, but it won't be 112. So
tell me about it.
Yeah, it'll be 111.
Yeah. It'll be 111 every year. Perpetual 111.
It's my own league too, so there's no chance I'm actually winning it. But I'm trying. I've given everything I can for it.
Nice.
All right, yeah. So last player with our guys who have risen from their graves, I got George Pickens, and man, is it George Pickens, right? Like, it's not even just about, for me, right? Like the reason I'm so excited about George Pickens is not really the production. It's not like saying, okay, I'm a contender. I have George Pickens on my roster. I'm super excited, which I am. If I have him on my roster, I'm a contender. But man, if this guy, if the Cowboys gets Lamb back, if they get Lamb back and his production does take a little bit of a dip, and you can buy into to Pickens for a round of first again later in the season, I'm gonna be doing it everywhere, because he showed me exactly what I wanted to see from Pickens, and which we haven't had the ability to see from Pickens, which is in a competent, well-run offense. Can he be an alpha? Can he be a 1? He can. And not just a 1. He can look like one of the best ones in the league. So I'm super excited. He's got a contract coming up at the end of the season. He might not be a Cowboy after this year. And even if he is, we've seen like the outcome can still be good. So I'm really excited about him.
Does it worry you though about the possibility that he could just literally chase the bag? It doesn't matter where he goes, and he could just go to a complete
I don't think he will
situation.
Though. I don't think he will though, because he's still super young. He's 24 years old. He knows this is not his last contract, and he's seen the difference between what happened in Pittsburgh and how he was viewed coming out of Pittsburgh and how he's viewed now in Dallas and what that production has done for his career. So
I'm just worried because he's the second rounder, so he's never really seen the money. Is why?
Well, he's going to get paid wherever he goes. Yeah, he's going to get paid wherever he goes. It's probably just going to be like
more.
it's just going to be like a $2 or $3 million difference. But if any agent in the world who is invested in him, which they will be because they want those future paydays too, right, is going to say, hey, we need to go to a competent offense. Like, that's important right now. You're 24. Like, there's some second-year wide receivers who are 24, right? Like, he's still a really young player.
Yeah. I'm stoked for him. It's a perfect situation with Dak and the way Dak's playing. I mean, if he had a decent team, you want to talk about front runner MVP, this dude is playing elite level quarterback right now. So with Lamb, the best thing about that is he's not ever going to see the cornerback one unless, Dallas wants him to see that, scheming him up on the certain side. So it's perfect for this year. And as Chad mentioned, he's only 24. What Mike said does worry me. That does worry me some that he goes to just, the Jets, somebody that wants to spend a ton of money and doesn't have the quarterback to get him those accurate targets. That being said, I would keep him in Dallas if we could choose because him and CD with Dak are an awesome combo.
Yeah. I mean, it's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
He really is balling out right now. I'd love to see him stay in Dallas.
What are you paying for him? I just traded for him, but I'm curious what y'all are, how high up are you willing to go? It's obviously more than a first. So like
first and a second.
You think that gets it
Get
done?
him probably a 1st and 2 seconds at this point.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not paying that. But that's because of the uncertainty of the future. If he was locked into Dallas with a contract, I probably would in the right situation. If he was like the last piece, this is the last piece of my lineup.
I've got an interesting one for you.
I think
him or AJ Brown.
For me, him being in a contract year is what makes him so enticing. That's just, I think I just see it differently from you guys. I think it's a very low chance he ends up on a bad team. But especially because wide receivers are so hard to get right now. They're so hard to find. So I just don't see that happening. I think it's probably going to be like a Kansas City or Buffalo or someplace like that. Yeah, New England.
It would be so nice to see him with Drake May.
There's just so many good teams that are wide receiver needy. If he ends up on a bad team, like it's just that would be the most boneheaded decision in the world and unnecessary because a bad team is not going to pay him that much more than a good team. There's wide receivers there. Every team is just so desperate for him.
That's true. So
but yeah, my worry is that he's Tennessee or whatever.
Yeah, that would be the one that would scare me. But Cam Ward needs somebody, so that's a good somebody to have.
Yeah.
AJ Brown or Pickens? Dynasty, obviously.
Pickens. Yeah,
I think that's pretty easy.
Yeah, that's not hard.
I would probably
hard for Mike.
I'd probably want
it's hard for me.
I'd probably want 2 seconds on top of AJ Brown for Pickens.
Wow.
All right, let's go up a tier then. Rashee Rice.
Pickens. I'm the lowest on Rice here, though.
That's like dead even for me.
I'll take Rice.
Okay.
I'd take Pickens. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a really good one. That's a really tough one.
One more just because I'm really interested. Ladd or Pickens?
Ladd. Not close.
Okay. All right. I wanted to see if he had fallen any.
No. Ladd is exactly what I said. That his days were coming, and he's got touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. He had a 100-yard game last week. I understand Quentin Johnston was out, but he's still Ladd.
We still got to see it with Quentin Johnston.
Yeah,
like,
that's a big.
We did 2 weeks ago. He had a 80-yard game and a touchdown. It's fine.
2 weeks ago? No, he didn't. He's coming off a 11-yard game, 39-yard game, and then a 100-yard game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought Ladd's only had one good week.
He had a touchdown, though.
Yeah, he did. He did have the touchdown.
Okay. Well, maybe I projected the rest of it.
Yeah.
I was like, there's the touchdown. Good week.
Yeah.
I mean, that is how it works, though, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's how it looks on the Ask Jalen Hurts.
All right, what we got next, Chad?
All right. So we've got another little mini game coming up, Halloween themed, just like the other ones. If you haven't gotten it this far in the podcast, this is Halloween themed. It is. Right? So
I hope so.
Yeah. Right. I don't think we said it. So just in case people couldn't figure it out. They're like, why are they talking about so much candy and pumpkins and dead people?
Yeah, our listener in Kenya has no idea what's going on. He just thinks we're evil people.
Yeah, so this one is called Rise from the Grave.
Nope, that's not what.
Nope,
it's Misfit Monsters.
That's not it. No, I'm wrong, guys. I'm wrong. Nobody told me, but it's actually Misfit Monsters. The segment where the players look ugly. The metrics are.
The players look ugly.
Yeah, they look ugly. The metrics are, but somehow the production, they're a dynasty monster, right? So, yeah. Who you guys got? Mike?
Chad, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you
who is the ugliest fantasy player.
Chad, you have to change yours. You can't call the player ugly and then have the guy.
I know. Have one of the best looking dudes on there.
Well, let's just say they maybe look ugly. That is one of the categories you could go with. Is they could look ugly. Mine is more so the metrics kind of look weird, right?
So that's why Jesse picked his. Okay, let's let Jesse go first.
Oh, okay. Mine's Jaxson Dart. So
He fine.
for all of the good feels and great vibes in the entire world that the Giants have going right now, everybody loves the Giants for some reason. It's almost like
they beat the Eagles or something.
Almost like they beat the world champions or something. Like, seriously, it's almost like that dopey gold retriever Eli's back. Like, hey, guys.
Oh,
everybody's just so, like, happy about the Giants, all these feels. Let me explain something to you. Jaxson Dart had 179 yards against two third-string cornerbacks on any other team, right? And he's diving head first.
What team are we talking about here?
The Eagles.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Diving head first, leading with his shoulder, playing reckless, whatever. Number one, the guy's going to get hurt. Number two, it's 2 games of okay numbers.
3, sir. Just
there's so much salt in this.
There's 3 games of
This is bad. So salty.
No, seriously, the numbers are okay for all of all of the arguments pro Giants right now and pro Dart right now are vibes and feels based.
That's not.
No, it's watching him.
Not get it.
It's
done.
watching him.
It's watching him dive headfirst and throw shoulders at people. He is going to get hurt.
Chad, let me go.
That's not how you do it. You have to slide. Someone needs to teach this boy how to slide.
So,
and also,
go ahead
with these weapons against real NFL secondaries. I'm just telling you, it's not going to look like it did last week every week.
So,
you mark my words.
He's averaging 2 touchdowns a game, which for fantasy is phenomenal for a rookie just starting.
He's 2 touchdowns in what way?
It doesn't matter.
Passing, it does matter.
Points. No, it does not.
It does matter because
6 points.
We're talking about 6 points.
Jesse forgot that this is fantasy. Jesse forgot this is fantasy.
I don't care about him as a career.
Okay, listen. When I say it matters, it's because it's not projectable. It's not repeatable for the future. Yeah, it happened. It counts. But will it happen in the future?
Why is it not repeatable? He looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
He's not an elite athlete that you're going to be able to depend on for his legs.
But he's averaging 10 attempts a game.
He looks like a rushing quarterback. He's a legit dual threat quarterback.
Okay, then he needs to learn how to slide.
Well, that can be true, but I mean, he's averaging 55 yards a game on the ground, 10 attempts on the ground a game, which is ginormous. 200 yards a game passing, that is what it is, but with you're rushing that much, that's 250 yards a game.
And his efficiency as a rusher is like close to top of the league for a quarterback.
And and when defenses catch up to that and stop and start realizing, oh, this isn't a slow whack guy, they'll game plan for it, and it's not going to be as easy as it's looked. I'm telling you now. This is the honeymoon phase for Jaxson Dart.
I mean, I think you can be right, but I also think he can be.
I'm not saying
top
he's
12 dynasty quarterback.
I'm not saying right. I'm not saying he's terrible, but
you kind of are.
People are. No, I'm not. I'm really not. But people are a little out over their skis on this. Just pull it back a little bit on Dart.
Well, it's because when you watch him, like I am as hard on Giants players as anybody.
Sometimes.
No, I am. I legitimately am. Until a Giants player proves that they're better than the franchise they're playing for, I'm just gonna not give them the benefit of the doubt. But Jaxson Dart when you watch him, he looks like he has an it factor. And you're talking about, oh, it's the aura, it is. But that's because when you watch certain players, there is something different about them compared to other players that you watch. And Jaxson Dart has it. Right?
Yeah, so, but I need more passing, like more passing talent. He
started 3 games, Jesse. Like for him to look as comfortable and play as efficiently as he has, this is incredibly impressive, especially on a team with practice squad players.
Yeah,
little Jordan Humphreys was his top wide receiver last week,
and the defense he was playing was really, really injured. A lot of backups on the defense.
Lil Jordan Humphreys was his top target last week.
He was going against Adoree Jackson, who the Giants.
So it's a wash, Jesse. That's what I'm saying. Is you can't. I'm not saying that what he's doing.
It's not just a wash. I mean, when the guy's wide open, it's not a wash.
I mean, it's okay. So what about with the Chargers and New Orleans? Because he put up 20 points a game.
I am giving him some credit. I'm not saying he's a bad player, Mike. I'm telling you that.
Is he above Cam Ward now for you?
Of course.
He's got to be.
See, Jesse's like, I knew Jesse was going to think about it. I think that's why we have the disconnect. Because Cam Ward has a lot more around him. I don't think he's looked terrible, but he's done nothing for fantasy. Whereas
Cam Ward's got
Dart
nothing around him. What do you mean?
Jaxson Dart has nothing around him.
But what are Cam Ward's weapons? Nothing.
Better than Jaxson Dart's.
He's got a day 3 rookie as a starter is his main weapon. Okay. That's awful. I mean, the Giants at least have a good line and Cam Scatterboo, right? What Tony Pollard, does that do it? Tajay Spears?
The Giants do not have a good line. Jaxson Dart.
They have a good. They were run blocking their butts off the other day. Like they are a pretty good run blocking line.
They are not. They're not. He had one good. Cam Scatterboo had one good rushing game.
Yeah, right.
They're not.
My whole point is that the Titans don't have good weapons. Cam Ward has nothing around him.
They don't. The Giants have worse.
Their offensive line is in shambles. Their coach got fired.
Thankfully.
Cam Ward deserves a mulligan in my book. I'm not putting Jaxson
I agree with
automatically above him.
But
I think that's too knee jerk, and that's exactly what I'm talking about.
So if Dart was struggling, would you give him the same mulligan? Sorry, I'll let you go, Austin. I was saying if Dart was struggling, would you give him the same mulligan? Because you could say it's kind of
absolutely. I would.
Too.
Absolutely, I would. I would look at what he has around him, which is, like Chad said, nothing. And the coaching is working. If the coaching wasn't working, I'd point to that as well.
All right, let Austin go. He's got something.
For me, I think it's irresponsible, Dynasty Manager, to not have Jaxson Dart ahead of Cam Ward now for 2 reasons. One,
irresponsible.
Yeah, because we have to be reactionary to an extent. We don't have to be over the top quick reaction, but one looks like a truck, one looks like a trailer. Yeah. Jaxson Dart is leading a bad team to not look bad. Cam Ward is quarterbacking a bad team and looking bad. Yes, Cam Ward has had moments, and I see him, and I'm not out on Cam Ward by any fashion. Jaxson Dart is making a terrible offense look sufficient. That has to mean something for Dynasty, because if that means he gets, let's say they do trade for Jacoby Myers, or they do trade for Waddle or Olave or any of these guys, that means next year he has that guy and Malik Neighbors to run a somewhat hopefully sufficient offense that he should easily be able to improve through a full offseason actually being the starter. So to me, you have to move him above Cam Ward until we see Cam Ward be somewhat sufficient with his offense.
Nah, I disagree. I've already seen Cam Ward make throws that I don't think Jaxson Dart can make.
Okay.
Or plays.
I've seen Jaxson Dart make a lot of plays Cam Ward can't make.
Yeah, I mean, I think
can't make or hasn't made.
I think there's a difference there. Can't make, because they're 2 different players.
Yeah, they are. They are 2 different players, right? And the athleticism is different.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, like there is a certain element to Jaxson Dart when you're watching him, where it's that like Patrick Mahomes-esque kind of feel, where you're watching a game and you're like, how is he doing the stuff he's doing when it looks like he shouldn't be able to do it? Like there's just so many things happening on any given play where you're like, oh, he's sacked here. Oh, he's going to throw a pick. Oh, there's nobody open. And it just finds a way to be or to make it a productive play, right? And he just has those time after time after time where now I look at a Giants team and I'm like, okay, this is this is a really, really bad football team. One of the worst, if not arguably the worst in the NFL, right? And I'm looking at this team and I'm saying, let's just say the offense. I think the defense is badly coached, but let's just stay with the offense here. And Jaxson Dart is making you feel better about every player on that roster. That means a lot, especially as a rookie 3 games in. That means a lot. No player has come into the Giants for a very long time and done that outside of Malik Neighbors and Saquon Barkley, the only 2 other players that have done that.
As a rookie quarterback, if you come into a building and the players don't respect the head coach and you don't have the leadership above you, you're pretty much done and you can't be Jaxson Dart. Right? So if Jaxson Dart came in to Tennessee, this wouldn't be happening, is what I'm saying. Like without that kind of leadership from the top, you can't get the secondary leadership from the quarterback. It doesn't work that way, right? Things completely fall apart, right? So we just don't know what Cam Ward can be as a leader. It's unfair to judge him at all when his head coach got fired 6 games into the season.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Jesse. I do agree with that.
He's in the absolute worst situation a quarterback can be. It's Derek Carr level.
Yeah, which to me is why you would move Jaxson Dart ahead of him, because I don't know if we've seen a quarterback.
I don't, because
I
feel we are terrible at judging situations like going forward, right? We're terrible at predicting what a situation is going to be by next year. So Tennessee has 9 months to do all the things in the world to make this better for Cam Ward. So I'm not. I'm gonna have them probably neck and neck right now.
Okay.
In a lineup, for a lineup decision, of course I'm putting Dart in over Ward. But as far as a trade goes, no, I'm not obviously putting Dart above Ward.
Okay.
It's a really hard decision for me. That says a lot for Dart.
I'll be honest with you. I this is going to sound pretty crazy, but there's a lot of quarterbacks I would trade for Jaxson Dart in the 27 first.
Yeah.
And I think a lot higher up than what the average person would think.
It's 3 games. We're comparing him to Patrick Mahomes at this point.
I'm not. No, nobody's comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. I said that.
Oh yeah, no, you just did.
No, I did.
Oh yes, you did.
No, I did not.
You said you
Mahomes.
compared him to Patrick Mahomes.
No, I said there's an element where it feels like, hey, this guy shouldn't be getting out of certain situations, and he is like that. There's other quarterbacks that have had that, but I'm just saying, like, the most recent guy that that's kind of like the most extreme end of the spectrum as far as that goes is Patrick Mahomes, right? There's so many plays where you see him and you're like, this should be a sack. Like, why is the defender missing this tackle right now? Right. And that's what's happened. That's what's happened. Hold on 1 second. That's what's happening week after week with Jaxson Dart, where you're just seeing him get out of plays and make positive plays that probably shouldn't be positive plays.
That's the other thing you said that I take exception to. Time after time after time, week after week after, it's been 3 weeks, like you said. Also, on the other end of that spectrum, you have Kyler Murray, who has that same kind of magic, can make plays where it seems like there's nothing, but at the end of the day, he's Kyler Murray. Yeah, so there are 2 ends of that spectrum.
As a time, he was a top 5 dynasty quarterback.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
if that's what we're projecting a possibility for Dart, that's a great possibility. That means
that's what I'm saying. There's 2 ends. There's 2 ends of the spectrum and a lot of room in between, and it's 3 games. It's too much for me to elevate him like this after three games.
So would you have him above Jared Goff, Jesse? Like how low are you on him still? Like, I'm not trying to single you out, but you seem to be considerably different than
Oh,
us.
I
So
don't-
I'm just trying to.
Off the top of my
gauge.
head, off the top of my head, that's really. You mean Cam Ward?
No.
Jaxson Dart?
Ward, the Dart.
Oh,
like,
off the top of my head, I don't know.
okay. Yeah, I wasn't trying to single you out. I'm just trying to gauge because, like, for me, like I said, man,
I mean, it feels like we had a lot of these same kinds of discussions last year about Bryce Young when he was in his hot stretch.
but he never got to that discussion.
I feel like it was last year for all the rookies more than anything, except
I would say the rookies
continued to prove it.
Yeah.
And most majority of them.
I mean, we
top
literally
10.
had very similar discussions about Bryce Young.
Bryce Young is, at least for me, was always still more projection based, as far as, like me saying, okay, there's glimpses of what we saw in college translating to the NFL, where we see, okay, maybe like a stretch of plays or something where he looks super comfortable. He's navigating the pocket well. Pressure doesn't seem to bother him, right? And then there's a lot of like boneheaded plays in between. My whole thing was he was an elite prospect, giving him the benefit of the doubt for that. That's not the same thing I'm doing here with Jaxson Dart. For me and Jaxson Dart, it's, okay, I'm watching this guy consistently look like the game is not too big for him. The game looks like it's something that is easy. He looks comfortable on and off the field. I'm just sold on the player. I think the player is I think this is going to be the cheapest he's going to be for a bit.
Let's get into it. Let's give it a month or two and let him see some different defenses and get some real NFL defensive coordinators throwing their
nobody says
he's
not going to struggle. He's a rookie. It's about
but that's also what I want to see is what happens when he struggles. How does he handle it? You know what I mean? Does he stay the same, consistent guy? We've seen,
that's fair.
We've seen guys fold in the past. I want to see it. I want to see it keep going.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah. So the next guy we have is Austin. Who you got?
Who do I have? Oh, I have Dalton Kincaid. He has 26 targets on the season, and he's a top 6 tight end. Is that sustainable? Yeah. But he looks really good doing it. So, like, maybe it is sustainable, but is it? It kind of worries me a little bit. I don't know what to do with him. I mean, he's tight end 7 now and missed a week. So, I just don't know what to do with that. It scares the heck out of me. He's at like 14% target share, but he's producing as a top 6 guy. Like, I don't know what to do. So
sell him.
That's probably the right answer, but the talent's there. It's just, it's hard for me to do that because still, I mean, the cost, heck, I saw him traded in a tight end premium league for a second, which makes no sense to me.
Jeez.
Yes, just a plain second. And it makes 0 sense to me that you've held this guy for this long and then you sell him for a second, which is under what he should be. But like, is just a first enough? Like, am I being greedy?
Yeah, I'd sell him for a first. I'd be really happy to reroll.
Okay.
The problem I have is not with Kincaid, the player. I think he's a good player. It's the Bills. The way they spread the ball around and the way they just are content to play matchup-based football.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade him for a first. I'd want a little bit more, especially if you've held him till now. He looks like a good football player consistently. It's just the usage, like Jesse was saying. But he has looked to be a little bit more of a priority this season. I mean, the 6 targets he's seeing in most games this year is not great, but with the efficiency he's getting on them, especially in the middle of the field, he looks really good. So I don't think he needs much more than that to see a pretty decent value jump. I think paying a first for him right now, like if it's obviously I'm talking about like late first. I don't see any value proposition that makes me want to do that trade.
Okay. Mike.
All right. So I had Stephon Diggs. So We already talked about him, I guess, a little bit, but he's at sub 50% snap share, which is wild to me. But he's still coming off the injury. Obviously, he had the huge game against his old team, Buffalo. Outside of that, he's got more wide receiver 2 or not that great of finishes.
Yeah.
But Drake Mays looked pretty amazing, I would have to say. For the way he started his year. So
this last game was weird too. He also had like a 55-yard touchdown called back or something.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Patriots New Orleans wasn't one of my top rated games to watch last weekend. But yeah, I just watched him against Buffalo and I was like, man, he looks like old Steph Diggs when he was playing for Buffalo. So I don't know. Did any of you guys convinced it's real, or?
I know Chad is.
I know Chad is. Yeah.
I don't know how to feel it, to be honest.
The usage worries me. The player doesn't. Like when you watch him, he looks really good. It's just the usage is weird, and nobody can explain it. The Patriots are calling him their wide receiver one. He's the wide receiver 1, but
isn't Butte getting more of the
but also like last week was really, really weird. Like they were just throwing like 50-yard bombs to everybody, so the offense was just never out there. And like I said, I think Drake May had 2 50-yard plus passes last week, and then he had the one called back to Diggs. So the other 2 wide receivers had theirs count, and Diggs didn't.
But no, he had like the 3 touchdowns by halftime too, I think, or something.
Yeah,
so
it was
early.
Really weird game. But yeah, man, the usage has to go up, right? Like, it has to at some point.
I think a lot of it has to be health related. So he's coming off of a major injury, ACL tear. He's probably dealing with swelling or something like that. And the more he's on it, the worse that gets. He was super, super motivated to torch Buffalo. Like that did not end well between the two of them. Yeah. And like he was literally on the sidelines, like cheering people on and motivating defensive players to get in there and make plays. That's not Diggs. Like I've never seen Diggs on the sideline doing that before. He usually sits on the bench. So like, yeah, he was super motivated for that game, but he looked great. So it makes sense that as the season goes on and he gets healthier, that the snap percentage will go up.
And he's missed 2 practices in a row now, too. Like, or not missed, but he's been limited in 2 practices in a row.
Yeah, he's probably dealing with soreness from the surgery still. Like I said, give it a month or 2. Hopefully he's more healthy. Hopefully nothing else pops up, like compensation injuries or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I'd stick him in my lineup as a flex, no problem right now. If I could get him for a late second, I think it's a good bet.
I was going to say, is he a wait and see buy as a contender, like try to get later, closer to the playoffs, or is this maybe the lowest he'll be?
I mean, yeah, it probably is the lowest he'll be, right? I mean,
so would you get him more than a second? Are we looking at?
Well, no, I'm not saying more than a second, but you know, if or like not right now, if you can get him for a late second right now, I think that price definitely goes up to where it makes it awkward for trades. Where you know later in the season, if he's showing good numbers, right? He's 31 years old. Like players can, I mean, dynasty managers can convince themselves, hey, I've got another year or 2 with Diggs, to move him if I need to. It's not like it's Keenan Allen where he's 34 and they're like, well, I got to move this guy or I'm going to lose out completely. It's all about what people can convince themselves of at the end of the day with these kind of players. So if you can,
I'm sorry.
If you can get them for a late second now, I think that's a pretty good proposition. Obviously, there's going to be some other competition with players that are producing a little bit more like Keenan Allen. But then again, you're also giving up some of the potential production going forward.
I'm sorry, I almost cut you off there, Chad. But like I was saying before, I'm afraid to buy a player for a second right now. You know, I want that second later in the season when I really need to make a push. But then again, will Diggs be available? Will I have to settle for a lesser player? Or maybe I just go after whoever's hot at that point for my second.
Yeah. I had an offer this week and couldn't pull the trigger on the second for Diggs for those exact questions.
Speaking of players that are worth a second. Kamara. Did you see the thing about Kamara? His quote today.
He said, "If I get traded, I'm gonna go drink pina coladas."
What?
Yeah, so if he gets moved, he's retiring, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you. I thought he was like, I'm gonna have a badass celebration. I was like, huh?
That's just so interesting because he's never won anything. I would think he would want to go.
Yeah,
I guess he's loyal, man. He just wants to go.
I mean, he doesn't want a ring chase.
Yeah, I saw the quote saying that he wanted to, or not the quote, but I read an article saying that he wanted to retire. Saying
I mean, he fits New Orleans so well.
Yeah,
I don't know if he has a family or not, but it's definitely hard to move your family around. If you have young kids.
Yeah. Well, and he's had so many good years in that city. I mean, it's tough to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever worked someplace that you feel comfortable at, where you like the environment and everything, sometimes it's just hard to leave and change things. It's not. Football players aren't any different.
Yeah. True. And New Orleans is one of those teams that just seems to keep people around forever.
Yeah. Terrible organization. Anyway.
But yeah, they've had that GM forever. What's his name? Mickey Loomis.
Mickey Loomis, yeah. Chad?
Tell us about your monster, Chad.
All right, hit us with your ugly monster.
Yeah, so I picked the ugliest of monsters. And yeah, it's Christian McCaffrey. Looking at his stat line just gives me a headache. His production on the season is so odd because he's not a wide receiver, but 60
he is. Targets. It's crazy.
I think he's like a top 8 wide receiver on the year right now. But on the flip side of that, if you look at EPA charts, efficiency per attempt, he is the worst out of 41 qualifying running backs. So what is happening? I just
is that on all of his touches or just his handoffs?
Just rushing.
This is rushing.
Okay.
Yeah, him rushing.
He has not rushed for 70 yards or more this season.
He's been terrible on the ground.
Yards per carry isn't everything, right? But when you look at those efficiency metrics, they tell you a little bit of it, and then so I'll just go and come with the 3, 4.2, 3.06, 2.88, 2.59, 3.18 is his yards per carry this year per game.
Well, when you have no wide receivers, teams can load up.
Is he a sale? I know that's a crazy question because of the targets.
No.
But
I mean, he's the number 1 RB in so many places.
30 points a week, man.
I mean, I can't imagine you're not a contender with him on your.
Yeah, I mean, I have one share and I'm a contender. It just, that doesn't feel sustainable.
Does he look bad to you?
No.
I feel like because of the injuries, though, the targets are sustainable. Like, I do think that will continue.
Right.
Like,
agreed.
What about when Kittle comes back?
Yeah, Kittle's back this week.
Then it opens things up for him.
I still think, like, I feel like they say it on TV and you don't see it as much, using the pass as the run game, right? And I feel like that's literally what they're doing with McCaffrey right now because the straight up run game just is not working for some reason. So, like, if you can get 4 yards on a swing pass to McCaffrey, yeah, I'm going to do that instead of pound him up the middle is what I feel like they're doing. And I don't see why they would stop if they're still getting wins. I couldn't agree more. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see because it's going to be a first, right? And firsts are always interesting. We've never seen this before. If this is sustainable, if it's something that can be carried out throughout the season, it'll be the first time in NFL history, and we'll have a top 5 wide receiver in the league be a running back. I'm not going to give that the benefit of the doubt, but
if anyone can do it, it's him.
That is true.
If the rushing was like middle of the pack, even I would be more inclined to say, okay, like I'm comfortable with this, but with him being arguably the worst rusher in the league at this point, it just makes it a little weird for me.
I don't even know what he's worth. I have no idea.
Yeah, if I can get a crazy price for him right now, I probably would take it. And it's really weird. It just makes me uncomfortable. We've just never seen it.
Well, I mean, really, we kind of have with him. So I thought in Carolina, he had a crazy season. So he had a 142 target season where he caught 116 catches for 1,000 yards.
Well, I'm not saying that the receiving output is different. I'm saying the polarity between him being an awful rusher and him being an extreme wide receiver.
Yeah, he averaged 4.8 that season and had 1,400 yards rushing.
He's always been a good rusher, which is just
he's not he doesn't look bad, so he's not a bad rusher. It's just that he's
looked pretty bad as a rusher.
Yeah, as a rusher he's
looked bad.
Okay, so that's the question that I asked. Has he looked bad?
Oh, well, I mean, no, because he doesn't because of the receiving. I mean, he's averaging almost 8 yards a target as a receiver, which is ridiculous coming from the running back position.
I just think he'll get players back on the offense that'll open things up for him and he'll be more efficient, or this will just continue. I think it's one or the other.
I just because this is so different from anything we've ever seen, I just think there's so many different possibilities where this could go.
Or it could be both. He gets the players back and he gets the volume and the efficiency comes back and he's just absolute monster, Bijan style.
Or players come back and he's still a crap rusher and the targets start to dwindle as the season goes on because teams start figuring out that they can't run the ball. Right? So that's what I'm saying is like there's so many different scenarios for this to happen. That is a realistic scenario. I'm not saying that it's the likeliest. I don't know because this has just never happened before.
Yeah, I mean, he's averaging 10 targets a game. Like that's wide receiver one numbers. I mean, he's
that's
up wide receiver one numbers.
He'd be a top 5 wide receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
It's scary. It really is. Like I said, I have one share and I've thought about shopping them to a few other contenders, but then it's kind of, it might bite you right in the rear end.
Yeah. He might be the one that beats you in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
He's got the talent to do it though. Like I think he could play slot receiver in the NFL at a high level.
But man, going 22 for 57 on rushing is insane to me. Like if you told me Christian McCaffrey did that, I would never believe you. Because he's way more efficient than that. So that worries me a lot.
I would say watch him closely because to me, and I hate saying it because the stats look so godly as far as receiving goes, to me it looks like he's lost a step. To me, he doesn't look like the same player he looked like in years past. I'm not saying he's a bad player now. He just doesn't look like the same player to me.
All right, let's say he is a sell. You're at the top of your league right now if you have him, most likely.
Yeah.
You can't trade him for firsts. Like you're contending. I need a player that's going to give me
I mean, you could get a producer in a first.
That's what I would need. It would have to be a lower level running back. I don't know.
Or
if you're Jacobs in a first, from either side, would you?
Oh, I would take that for CMC in a heartbeat, but I wouldn't pay that.
That's what I'm asking. That's the side that matters.
In fact, it's more even to me as a trade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. They're only 2 apart on keep trade cuts. So,
well, he's playing Sunday night against the Falcons, so we'll get to see him in prime time. And that Falcons defense is actually a lot better than people think.
Would you? So let's say that the guy that has Javonte is not a contender because that's a realistic scenario. Would you trade him for Javonte plus?
I think it's plus a first.
But if he's not a contender, why would he buy McCaffrey?
Oh, Javonte and a first, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just say Javonte and a first because I think that's an interesting. Even as a contender, if I have Javonte and
what
somebody
kind of first?
Late, you're the contenders first.
Not if I think it's going to be.
It's got to be more than that. Yeah, it's got to be more than that. And
well, I mean, that's pushing. That's middle first. How much more are we getting for McCaffrey? We all agree Javonte's at least a first. So then you're getting another first. I mean, how much?
Well, we're saying how we see him. Like I think if somebody is like borderline contender or like in the contending race and they have Javonte Williams and we're 6 weeks in and they see McCaffrey as RB1 on the year, 9 times out of 10 they're not really looking too deep into the stuff like we are, right? So they're just like, hey, McCaffrey's league winner for me. I need to get this deal done. Javonte Williams, I could talk somebody into paying more than a first on top. I think. What's that?
I'm about to try it. I'm about to get risky.
To get CMC?
No, to move CMC.
Oh, to move CMC.
I think you could do it just because of the name value, right?
Yeah, that's a really good. I mean, that's really true. I mean, a healthy CMC is one of the most dynamic pieces in Dynasty.
Yeah, it just think about it. It looks jarring, right? Just think of the psychology of it. When the trade goes through and the league sees it initially, their first gut instinct is like, "What did he just do? He traded McCaffrey for Javonte Williams in a first, right?" But
because this is the league I just traded for JT, so losing McCaffrey and having Bijan isn't the end of the world if I can get another good starter.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it somewhere. I'll let y'all know what happens.
In theory, it's a really good idea.
Yeah, it might be terrible in reality.
Yeah,
I don't know if I have the stomach for it.
Yeah,
it could be.
If I was a
There's so
contender,
many different ways
not.
it could go. There's so many different ways it could go.
I mean, just Javonte has become so gross in my mind before this year.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that I can get there.
That's what I'm saying. That's the psychology of it, right? Like when the trade comes through, you're expecting more than a first to be on that Javonte side when you see it.
Also because like coming into this season, right? Obviously I was the big CMC guy, but we had the truth of, does he stay healthy? And literally nobody else on that team has stayed healthy except for him.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's bizarre.
The guy that has Javonte is in 6th place.
Oh my gosh.
And is one of those managers that sees big names and makes moves.
So ask for more than that.
So do I
That's
do
what
a
I'm saying,
first
yeah.
and Sutton?
More.
Is Sutton enough to go with the first?
Yeah, because he's had two pretty bad games.
Yeah.
Sutton's had a couple bad games, but
I think
he's a good
because I do need a
contending piece.
receiver. I have 3 stud receivers, but like that's it. I lost Neighbors and Garrett Wilson, so getting another starter would be nice. Is that enough? Am I? Because I mean, he's got Addison and Olave and Quentin Johnston as well. So,
I mean, Cortland Sutton's kind of definitely the lowest of.
Yeah, agreed. That's why I went there first.
I would try. Maybe this is crazy. I would try Olave. I would just start there and just see what he's feeling out.
Javonte and a first
And feel him out.
Some people are really freaked out on Olave with the concussions.
Yeah, and it's Javonte Williams, right? Like the variance on like how he feels in people's minds are just going to be so different. If somebody's not really on it, if they're not a good dynasty manager keeping up with things, they're going to see CMC and see he's RB1 on the year so far. And what is he like overall?
He's number 2. He's 1 point behind Mahomes for 1 overall.
Yeah, I might be able to convince myself I'm turning Javonte into CMC.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that I don't even care about.
Well, I sent it. We'll see what happens. We'll see if I regret it.
All right, Matt.
Oh, CMC.
No, it's not Matt.
Just playing Matt.
All right, is that it finally? Is that all of our
I think that's all.
Games?
Right. We're just a little bit over an hour tonight.
Only 2 hours, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I didn't realize we were at 2 hours.
Well, we did like 4 games, so I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, this is going to be 2 episodes.
Yeah.
We don't tell them that. We don't do that, guys.
No.
Don't worry about it.
We just record
we record 2 different nights.
We're twice a week, yeah. Or twice a week pod.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching anything good this week?
I watched Peacemaker. So
What's
Peacemaker, HBO, it's a DC. So he was in, it's
John Cena?
John Cena. Yeah. One of the things that I realized too, especially watching it, it is amazing to me how The Rock and John Cena have actually turned into decent actors with some of the stuff they've done as they've gone through the years. Because The Rock, I saw his first, I'm from where they started as professional wrestlers.
Yeah,
because like The Rock was in the Mummy, the Scorpion King when I was growing up, and I love that movie more than anything. But man, he was awful. And then like John Cena in Fast and the Furious. But like if you've seen like Ricky Stenicki, I don't know if you've seen that one with John Cena.
Yes, I love that movie. That was hilarious.
He was amazing in that movie, and like
he was really good.
He is great in Peacemaker too. It's just something I wouldn't have expected. I mean, I guess wrestling is acting, to a degree, right? But they I don't know. He's got me.
Well,
I enjoy John Cena in movies now.
I love The Rock. I just think he's an awful actor. I haven't watched enough John Cena stuff, but every time I watch a Rock movie, I'm like, oh god, this guy's.
Well, I think John Cena's a better actor than The Rock. What was the movie he was in where he?
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one.
We've got Jesse up past midnight. There's no way we're getting this out.
Have you seen the new Jumanji movies, Chad? The Rock was really good in those. Yeah, he was good in those. I really liked him in those
Jumanji movies.
They're really good, actually. I liked them because him and Kevin Hart are.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think anything with him and Kevin Hart are pretty good.
The chemistry between those two, the CIA one, that one was really good too. Yeah,
I didn't mean like I don't enjoy the movie season. I just don't think like he's a good like traditional actor. Like I don't watch him, and
he's
I'm like,
definitely not traditional. That's for sure.
Yeah, like this is a great performance.
I mean, he can't be. He's a 250-pound hulky muscle dude. Like it's hard to, you know, you're not going to see him as some softy in a chick flick.
Oh, here's a recommendation for you. I never thought this movie was going to be good. It's called Daddy's Home 2.
Oh, yeah.
Daddy's Home with Will Ferrell. The second one, John Cena is in, and he's really funny. He's good. Really good.
He's good at it, yeah. He's got to stick to his genre, right? But I think he does it well in the action / comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he plays a good, like...
John Cena role.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like The Rock plays The Rock in every movie.
You expect him to be like this musclehead jerk guy, and he's just kind of goofy and funny.
Yeah.
And it works for him.
Yeah. Who's the other guy? Channing Tatum's kind of like that too.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
What's that monster show on Netflix? The newest one.
Ed Gein.
I've never been more uncomfortable watching something ever in my life.
That is an insane show.
Had to turn it off.
Yeah, we made it through 6 episodes. I don't know if I can finish it.
We made it through half of one.
I'm on like
it gets way worse.
I was getting nauseous.
It gets way worse. If y'all think 1 and 2 are bad, get to like 4 and 5.
Oh gosh, I read about it. Now I don't even want to watch it.
It was when he was.
It's interesting.
Bathing his mother.
Yes, that got me. I had to like go on my phone. I hate when people like are watching movies and they're on their phone. I literally was using it to take me away from this scene. I was like, what is? I wasn't even reading what was on my phone. I was just looking at reflections.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the screen. I'm not looking at the screen.
Yeah, it's tough. Me and the lady have tried to finish it because I hate starting shows and not finishing them. Like, especially like one season. I'm not going to go 8 seasons in a bad show, but if it's one season, I want to try to finish it. And it's horror related. We love horror stuff. It's tough.
That's not horror related.
It is.
It's something
horrible
different
in your dreams. Yeah.
Imagine accidentally falling asleep to that show.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Well, just so you know, they have 2 more coming out already. They've already announced 2 more of the serial killers. They're doing the same show.
See, but I like the other ones.
Yes.
I like the other ones. The other ones were like they were watchable. This one was like physically made me uncomfortable. I don't.
So speaking of falling asleep, so I used to, back in the day of DVDs before streaming and all of that, I had a friend that would come over my house and always like fall asleep on my couch and not leave. And he was a big dude.
What?
And you couldn't move him. And he would come over and we'd be hanging out or whatever. You'd watch a movie or whatever we were doing. And then when it's time for everyone to go to bed and him to leave, he's asleep. And so like I said, he's a big dude. You couldn't move him. So I realized that the title screen for, what's the Hannibal Lecter movie?
Silence of the Lambs is horrifying. It's just like screams and like horrifying noises played on a loop on the title screen. So I would just put that on and put it like the volume really loud and just wake him
leave.
up with that.
And just let him like try to sleep through that. And
Ed Gein.
Yeah, one day he came to me. He's like, man, I was having all these horrible dreams. Why did you leave that TV? We were even watching that movie. What happened? Why was that on? I was like, dude, don't fall asleep in my house anymore.
Did fall asleep in my house?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, Ed.
I thought he was going to be like, and then I slowly dripped cold water droplets on his head for 24 hours. Boxed him up in complete darkness.
Oh, God. No. Jesus. All right. Well,
I've been watching too much Ed Gein.
Yeah, you have. God, on a much lighter note, I watched the John Candy documentary. I Like Me.
Who's that?
John Candy. Have you ever seen any John Hughes movie ever?
I don't know who that is either, so that doesn't help me.
Home Alone, Jamaica bobsled team, the Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. John Candy is a big...
Oh, yeah, that dude.
Okay.
I didn't know his name.
Okay, that's cool. He was one of my favorite actors growing
funny.
up. Hilarious guy. And we watched this and nobody had a bad word to say about him. So it really makes you feel good when, like, you know, you can make a documentary about a guy and there's no dark things that come out. He was just a good guy.
They're waiting for part 2.
Yeah, there's
it was 2 hours. Directed by Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, who was in Orange County with Jack Black, I think.
Look, so I'm on Google and I typed his name in so I'd know who he was. And it says people also search for, and the second one is Ed Gein. Tell me how that makes any sense.
What, John Candy?
Yes.
Oh, because their documentaries came out about them.
They grew up together.
Time, but no, God, no, they were not.
Yeah, like, what?
Best friends.
But I recommend the documentary. I almost cried a couple times.
Aww.
Like I said, one of my favorite actors. If you have never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, that is the quintessential Thanksgiving movie to me. So this holiday, watch it with your family. You will not be disappointed.
All right. Give it a shot. Is it in black and white?
No.
Okay.
Also watch if you're looking for Christmas movies. This Monsters show with Ed Gein.
Don't do that at Christmas.
Oh yeah, Spaceballs. I was like, no, what else was he in?
Oh, Spaceballs 2 is coming out.
Yeah, but John Candy was in Spaceballs. Yes.
Oh yeah, he was a mug.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that came up in the documentary.
Yeah, he's barf.
Barf. Yeah, I'm a mug. Yeah, that's great. Spaceballs 2 is coming out.
I haven't seen that in
I heard about
a
that.
long time.
It's probably going to be terrible. Everything that's like, if it's
the thing is, Mel Brooks is still alive, so he's still doing it. So
the last time I saw Spaceballs, somebody popped in a VHS of it.
No,
really?
I don't know if I've ever seen it, to be honest.
Oh gosh, shit is.
I don't know if
amazing.
I don't
so
know if
good.
it still holds up, but it was funny in the day. That's for sure.
Oh, I still love it.
You kind of have.
I don't think it's
Star
one of those
Wars.
things you could have not seen.
I love Star Wars
and watch it today.
Yeah, for loving Star Wars, not to see it would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those things I think is like mostly on nostalgia. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels like one of those things where it's mostly on nostalgia right now for me. So I don't know. I can't guarantee that you'll love it if you saw it, Austin.
I don't know if the jokes hold up or not. They're still hilarious to me because
I still have them all memorized. Like some of the great ones that just had me rolling. My hair. He shot my hair. Son of
she gives a great helmet.
Yeah.
Anything else from you, gentlemen?
No. We need to go.
Yeah. All right. This has been Front Office. Peace.
Powered by Riverside.
You catch us on YouTube and Facebook at Dynasty Front Office, Twitter at Front Office FF, and Discord. Link in the description.
You know, tacos in the fridge. Tacos.